lot of impala tracks here. Baboon tracks. Oh, well, there's some impalas. Just a few of them. I think there might be some more further into the trees. I can hear some oxpeckers in the distance. 3 adult females, a little youngster. Amazing how quickly time goes. It feels like only a week or so ago that we started seeing the first impala babies. And that's already almost 2 months ago. It was last year. Curious young. Still experiencing and learning about the world it's growing up in. Not enjoying the bugs, you can see. Maybe one of those things that it's not quite enjoying about being out in the world. Luckily they've got hooves and tails and ears and all kinds of mechanisms of flicking insects away. Also a nice time of year this now. We're getting into the sort of mature part of summer. Up until recently it was still early summer, things still growing greener. Now we're getting to the stage where the grass is all starting to seed and a lot of the insects are getting more active, more mature insects around as well. All the ones that would have been hatching and changing and growing into adult insects over the last month or so. Also the spiders, as you've been noticing the last few drives, we're seeing a lot more big spiders. And there's a slight difference. There's a more sort of permanent sort of life around, if you want, in summertime. And then before we know it, we'll start waning down towards autumn and winter again. Animals are in very, very good condition though. Look at all these impalas, pretty much all the game we're looking at. Anything from the insects up to the big things like elephants and rhinos, everything is in very good condition. Lots of food around, lots of water around, even though we still need some more rain, but in terms of the habitat itself, things are looking excellent. But I think we're going to leave these impala, let them swat insects and eat some grass. Just to the left, that branch there, up on the little grass blade. Small insects, but we see them all the time, so I just thought we'll stop and have a look at them. Literally everywhere we drive along, as soon as there's any flowers or lots of grass that's in seed, you sometimes see quite a few of these together. Obviously these two are mating at the moment. Get right in there and have a good look at them up close. These are called net-winged beetles. They are quite small, just to a little bit of a tricky one for Alex. They're only about the size of your thumbnail. As you can see, just comparing it to those grass seeds just behind them. That's from your guinea grass. We've looked at those a few times, so you can imagine quite small insects. Most of them are quite foul tasting. Some of them can even be slightly poisonous to animals when they eat them, which is why they've got that nice bright coloration or aposematic coloration, that orange and black, just serving as a warning for something. So if you had a hornbill flying past or a little insect eating mammal walking past, they would see the colors and think, no, I don't feel like eating that, it's going to taste bad. That's why they can afford to sit right out in the open. Generally speaking, even when they're mating, when they would obviously be very vulnerable to attack, they know that the chances of something wanting to eat them is not all that much. little bird sitting in there. Again, it's a little bit dark with the light. Typically these birds are most impressive in bright sunlight. But it's a lilac-breasted roller sitting right in the branches there. Beautiful, just look at all the detail on that. One of the things about what I was thinking about just now while driving is that one of the benefits to be able to really look at things closely, in a way we're seeing this better now than sitting where I'm sitting, just because we can get so close and you can really appreciate the detail, even looking at smaller things like insects or leaves on plants, and just seeing how all the detail, how amazing it is in whatever organism we're looking at. In this specific case, a lilac-breasted roller is certainly one of the birds that you often see associated with Africa. If you look at travel brochures or travel programs or birding books, this is a bird that shows up a lot, obviously. It's just so beautiful. And just look at all the different shades of color. Look at the head, starting right at the top. You've got almost like an olive green, light lime greens going down to a more turquoisey dark green, white and the black around the eye area, and then you've got all kinds of purple and mauve, and there's almost like a sort of a brown purple in there as well around the eye patch, those white streaks. And going lower down, again, just different colors of aquamarine and turquoise, blue, brown. It's just such a colorful bird, very, very beautiful. And just look at that, look at the detail in the feathers, how amazing these animals are. Around the beak, see there's little fine feathers, almost like whiskers, and they act a little bit like whiskers do for predators maybe. These guys eat mainly insects, so it just acts like little feelers around the mouth. So if the insect is sticking out the side of the mouth, or it's only managed to just catch onto it, you can feel where it's moving most or what it's doing. Nice sharp pointy beak, but sort of a general insectivore beak. You can see it's adapted to catch all kinds of insects. They're not specialized like some insect eaters are. I think what's most important or most impressive about this bird is just how incredibly beautiful it is. Just look at all those different shades of color on it. And this one is playing along nicely as well, just giving us different views. And they're also in flight very beautiful to watch. Got more of that color on the wing that you can just make out there, that sort of turquoise and aquamarine coming out in flight as well. And then they also do quite impressive or quite amazing flight patterns. That's where the second part of the name comes from. All your rollers, you get a few different species. They all do these amazing tumbles and turns and acrobatic flight maneuvers when they're displaying, either a male to a female, maybe showing off a little bit, or otherwise just one bird to another to have like a territorial dispute. So instead of having a fight over an area, they'll do all kinds of flight patterns and show the other one that just look at how acrobatic I am, I'm such an accomplished flyer. And because of that, they can also sort out who's older, who's stronger, who's quicker. Truly beautiful birds. And this one just looking around, looking for something to eat maybe. That's the typical way they hunt their food. They don't hunt on the wing like some other insect eaters that fly around and physically look for animals while they're flying. Rollers like to perch somewhere like this. They can look around and they'll catch something on the wing if they see something flying past. Or as often, if not more often, they'll fly down onto the ground and catch little insects as well. They'll eat other little things as well. There's a small lizard or a gecko or something like that, they'll go for it also, but predominantly insect eaters.